All right. Ready or not? You're gonna write the book.
Ready or
Asking
not,
your word.
here I
You
come.
ready?
You can't hide. You can try to hide,
Your
but
book.
I'm gonna find you and take it slowly. We can write the book slowly, but
Your
you go
book.
stop hiding. Stop hiding. Stop. So what's
Time
the
is
next?
up.
What's holding you back? What's holding you back? What's keeping
What's
you?
holding me
What's keeping
back?
you from telling your story?
Oh my God.
What's keeping you from
Hmm.
writing a book? And you know, the reason
That's a
that I
good
know
question.
that you're out there, the reason that I know that you're hiding now from me, because when my book hit and all these things started happening, I can't tell you how many people I got in my inbox. Oh my God, I want to know. I need to write a book. I want to write my story. I want to, I had all kind of stuff in my inbox.
Do
Now
it.
I'm like, okay, now I'm calling you to the carpet,
Write the
and
book.
now you're running scared. Don't run scared. But I don't know. We're gonna ask the question every day because I want to know really what's holding you back, what's keeping you from just taking that step and following through on what you know to be right and true
Mhm.
for you. I'm just asking the question, y'all. I'm just asking the question.
You should ask
What's
every
holding
day
you
for
back?
real. This could be like, and then they'll be like, I'll just do it. Okay. I'll just do it. I don't even, you ask it 10 times, 11 times, you're like, fine, I'll do it, Tracy. I'll write the book. But
I'm finished asking, everybody gonna be like, all right, damn it, okay. So,
that's probably easy
well,
for
you know
me.
what? We're gonna
Stop
put
asking
Marie on
me.
the spot right now. Let's just put Marie on the spot. Marie, what's holding you back from writing that book? What's holding you back?
What's holding me back? Oh my God. What's holding me?
Or
I'm
you can
holding
just
me
ask
back.
it.
My thing is, I couldn't.
You couldn't
Go ahead.
decide. No, I was gonna say I was gonna
We're
rephrase
going
the
to
question. I was just gonna rephrase the
rephrase it.
question.
Rephrase it.
Okay. So the question was, what's holding you back, or what held you back
Mm-hmm.
until this point? Like, what are the things that have held you back from writing your book?
Mm-hmm. I think I was overthinking it. I felt like I read everything about writing book instead of writing the book or writing the story. So I'm like, oh, let me learn. Let me take a class. Let me do this. And then it's like taking the classes is not writing the book versus just doing a little at it. And then I overthink it, right? So I overthink it where I'm like, oh, I'm too young. Am I writing like my story? Is it like the autobiography? Is it like my life? Like, what is this my story business, right? Because it seems like I don't want to be thinking about all that for the last, what, 40, 30, 40 years, whatever it is, in terms of sometimes people think you have to start from like birth to now. Like I have to think about everything. And I'm like,
Right.
that's just too much.
When I
Can't
was a
even get into
child,
that.
no, you don't necessarily have to
Yep.
go
Way back. Way back. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I realized, literally we could write a book for each like chapter in our lives, or just the little things in terms of like the seasons of my life. And so for me it was just like that overthinking, and then I started thinking like, well, people with exciting lives write book. My life is not exciting. I'm like, what stories am I really gonna tell? Like what, because when you read certain things people have, they've been places, they've had like multiple loves, and everything is exciting, right? And I'm just
there.
like, there is no excitement. I mean, there was some excitement, but there's no like dramatic, like movie type. And so I kind of saw it like from the big names we were seeing in terms of, they have so many stories and they were famous. And it's rare that you see just like, even when they say like rag to riches or this is like the real story or whatever, like it seems more fantasy or the good part or the juicy part versus like the things where it's like you literally almost crush you. Some people do it now, I think, but sometimes we just get like the real, like the the highlights of the stories versus like when things really hit the fan where you're like, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna make it out. So I thought it had to be exciting. So I thought it had to be an action movie versus like,
You're not
you know,
living
like
the
a
action
slice.
movie life. You're not living that life.
I'm not. I don't know
That's
who
not
is
it.
though. Now that I know
That's not
better, I'm
it.
like, who's living life for real? So that's what helped me. And I'm like, who wants to read about a boring life? You know, but then part of it could be like my own sort of limiting ways of looking at my own life. Like I may see it that way, and some people are like, who might read it and be like, oh, that's exciting. I've never traveled here. I've never done this. I've never. But to me, I'm like, it's not that interesting. But then I'm like, it's not for me to decide at this point because other people, there are things even now they're just discovering and they're like, that's exciting. I'm like, no, it's not. But then that's up to them to see it's exciting. So I think those were the chatter in my mind where I'm just like, and then before you know it, it's 10 years of you saying, I'm gonna do it.
5,
Ah,
10, 15, 20 years
yep.
pass you by.
And then you're like, oh my God, the pages are still blank. But you still right? The experiences are still happening. That's the beauty of life. The experiences are still happening. The memories are still being made. You still, you know, thank goodness you're still living and you have plenty to share. But
Mhm.
I think it's just that belief that
I don't have anything to share. My life is boring. It's not enough kind of stuff. Yeah,
who's gonna read that? Who's gonna read
right,
that?
right. But when I look at I mean, I know some amazing women. They're not famous. They don't
Mhm.
have like all of these things, but I'm like, oh my God, that would be a story I would want to hear.
You want to hear it?
And some of us, even inside of the profession, like I listen to like okay, y'all know I've got to go to nursing for everything, but we have a story about any and everything you could imagine. And imagine if we all got
Mhm.
together and just shared nursing stories, or a different
Yep.
perspective for new nurses, like just turning around and saying, look, yeah, I know that it's a thing that some nurses have been known to eat their young. There's a reason for that, y'all, but we have to talk
Yeah.
about that another day. And
Next
how to
episode.
survive, nursing. How do you survive in a profession that's ongoing, like it's nonstop, 24/7? And how do you survive in that? How do you survive nursing school? We could write about all kinds of stuff. And you do have a story,
Yep.
and they are
Mhm.
interesting. And somebody out there is waiting to hear it.
If you say so,
Checking
this
that
could be
box.
your lullaby.
Mm-mm.
Read it and
Well,
follow.
lullabies can be written too. You need one of those? Those can be written
Do it.
too. Those can be written too.
Yeah. No, but it's good to see the difference because now you, as you're listening to other people, you're like pieces, like slices, like if you look at it almost like when you're watching your favorite TV show or your favorite anything, like you
Mhm.
don't just, they don't give you the 10 years. Like I love to compare it to a sitcom or like a soap opera. Every week you get a little, just a little, and then you get a little flashback to something that happened before I was even born with that story. So that's the way where I feel like, oh my God, it doesn't have to be like a giant bite or like the big thing. You could just give them a slice. You have your little, you're being serenaded by your friends. You're
He's
like,
the
we're part of this conversation
he's
too.
the, he's the
Um,
groundskeeper. He just singing to
yeah,
them. He's enjoying himself. I love when people do that. It's like,
good. It's
okay,
funny.
I'm happy for
It's
you.
funny. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think now it's like it's becoming clearer. Well, and then it's like there are pieces, like we've met many women who are just like, technically, myself included. Now I feel like, hi, I'm Marie, and I need to like confess, I am, one of those. You think you have blank pages, but some people don't have blank pages. They have drafts of things they've written and just tuck it away, right? They're like, I'll
Yeah,
get to it, you know.
right.
And so
To the people.
technically a lot of people I would say the books, the volumes have been written is just choosing like, okay, let's start with volume 1. We don't need a 10 volume
Right.
story. Do volume 1 and build on it, but the goal is to start with that one volume. instead of hiding it or keep it in the
Yeah, and that's
closet.
that's where people run into trouble too. Like I have all of this stuff that I want to write that I don't even know where to start,
Right.
and it's like, you have to create an outline about it. Like we're gonna pull like just a section out of that, and we're just gonna focus on that section. Because you could write books from here to the day you die
Yes.
with all of the things that you've been through,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the experiences, not just the traumas either, because we have a lot of great experiences that we can share with one
Mm-hmm.
another. Just,
Yeah,
how I
that's all
went
like the
from
memory.
nothing to my doctorate to, whatever. Yeah.
So many,
It's a
so many.
it's a
No, I
necessary.
agree because now I'm like, there's a lot. But then, you know what happened? I think that's one of the nice thing about sharing it too. So even if you're not, I think coming to, I'll wait for you to announce the exciting event. Coming to the upcoming
Uh-huh.
event is gonna help you literally just release all those ideas, right? Because somebody else is gonna hear it and you like, I can figure this out, even like a title, and somebody else will just hear it or just hear a little bit
Oh
about
my
you. It's like you just did, they're like from this to that. And that's the word. And that's the whatever. As you're talking, they're literally like, I have the title of your book, or I have, the tag line that you can use that captures
God.
what's in the book. So you don't need to figure all that stuff out because somebody else who never heard it, and of course they're more excited than you now because they're just hearing this for the first time. So they're like, "Oh, this is good. It could be from this to that," and that's where I feel like the weight and the overwhelm is gonna get lighter because then it's not just you keeping all this in your head. Like, let it loose, and then somebody else will help you. Literally, that's your job. You just help them birth it. I just gotta breathe through the process, and then
Right?
I will birth this book in 30 days. Get breathing.
Hard though.
If
We
I knew this,
are. Look,
read it,
people are
I'm
like,
like,
this
oh
girl
God,
has just lost her mind. But no, I have not. I promise you, I have not. And listen, so they were laughing at me because I have some sort of a party every day, right? I'm singing, I'm dancing, different things are going on. And now I want to bring the party to my friends or bring my friends to the party,
yep.
right? And so
Either way,
coming up
in
on
the
April
party.
25th, we are doing a sip and pen for writers. So this is the writers edition, and I'm so excited about it because I'm like, man, now I get to kind of bring you into my world, help you create a vision and outline around your book so you can get the jump start that you need to actually write it and get it done. Right?
Get it
Because you
done.
need that little push. That's what that is. That's that little push. If you need that little push, show up on the 25th and let's do that part. Right?
Do it.
My favorite piece, though, my favorite piece is the after party. After the
Oh,
party. Oh, yeah,
don't worry.
hey, I always have a song. After the party. After the party, it's the after party. Okay,
Like most,
we ain't going to the hotel lobby. I need to reel it back in.
just staying with the
But
book.
so the after party, though, is when we're actually going to work together to get your book done. So we're going to take your book from none to done, or a little bit. If you got a little bit written, we're going to take it from there to done in 30 days. 30 days. Come June 1st, you will have a complete book. There is no reason for you not to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you, now somebody's fussing. Y'all got to realize I'm outside. I'm
This is
enjoying beauty
live,
that Vegas has to offer.
live,
Making my boss moves. Y'all like my
real
shit?
life
Mm.
boss,
Oh, let you read the rest. Boss, me. Look,
boss.
a person that doesn't have time to manage your insecurities. So
No time.
we're not managing your insecurities. We kicking those to the curb and we just bring your ass on. Come on, let's come on. Let's
Yeah.
get your book written though. Let's get your book written. The link is everywhere too. The link is in my bio. RSVP your space now. I'm only doing up to about 20 people um, inside of the after party because I think 20 is a good number. And if you know me, you know I love the teaching aspect. You know I love, even though it might have been unorthodox at time. I'm probably not your typical teacher either in this space.
Typical teacher.
Right. I
Oh,
am not that person. But, if you are looking for someone to just kind of help you go from none to done, and to help you get your ideas organized and to actually just write your book, Goddess, I am here for you. And let's do it. Let's do it together. It's
yeah.
going to be so much fun. So join us for the party, join us for the after party, and then we celebrating, right? Because I celebrate everything, something. We celebrating something in this process. We celebrating the process in and of itself. Shoot.
In the process. There's a party for every step.
There's a party for every step.
Every step.
Who I
It's gonna
am.
be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's not like school where you're like, oh my God, I don't want to write this. I mean, you're gonna want to celebrate throughout. And I think that's one of the things I love too. You said we're not gonna wait until it's done, because sometimes we keep waiting until it's in our hand. But it's worth celebrating through the journey, throughout
It
the
really
journey.
is. Which is why we start with a party. It's a party with a plan nonetheless, but it's a
Yes.
party. And we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to speak life and love and just give your book all of that energy, the good energy that it needs to live. Put it out there. Put it out there to your God. Put it out there to the universe. Let him know, let her know
Mhm.
that you are ready and that you're in this together. So the closer, how do I like to say that? The more you start moving towards it, the faster you start moving towards it, the more and faster it can start moving towards you, and you'll be done. And then, we have to focus on the rest of it. Like, man, I'm getting it published and all of that other good stuff, but get it written.
No, you can just share it, and then keep talking about it. That's the other thing too. And I think that's the part that's going to be helpful. Share it with the women, share it with the sister goddesses you're going to be meeting. They're going to be excited because now they have something to look forward to reading. A new season, people are always looking for new books. Can you imagine now you have like 10, 15, 20 people? You're like, whoa, I got stories to read and stories to share, because there are other women we know around the world who are like, I want to hear this, or I don't hear enough of this, where they're gonna want to be sharing it with with their sisters, with their cousins, with their whoever that they
Yeah.
feel like, and it's a gift.
Women of color,
It is.
Black
It's a
women,
gift.
women of color especially, we
Mhm.
have stories to tell. We have some triumphs to share. We have
Mhm.
victories. We have, so many different things and different angles that we can speak from. Um, and your story is necessary. The
Yes.
words you have to say are necessary. One of the things that I would love to see people do is to start sharing the stories that they've received, from their
Mhm.
grandparents and their
Mhm.
grandparents, and
Yeah.
great grandparents and all of that. Start sharing those stories, because if we don't, who will,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And if you die, and I don't mean to be gory or
We're like,
anything,
oh.
but are you going when you die? Are you just going to leave and not
Mhm.
leave those stories to pass on, right? So I was this just reminds me of something, and then we're gonna go and we'll come back on later. But so recently I started going on Ancestry and doing all the family tree and all of that, right? And the thing about it is it gives you ideas of people that may be relatives. And
Mhm.
so you'll also start finding other relatives that you didn't know you had, things like that. And there's one relative that I'm like, oh no, that's not my grandfather. That should be my grandfather. That's his name. And somebody
Mhm.
put, his nickname in quotes. But I said that's not
Okay.
his date of birth. Those are not his, those don't belong to him. And that isn't his dad. These are wrong. You can have the wrong people because a lot of people have same names, right? And um, when my grandmother passed last April, she was 95 years old. And just before passing, a couple months before she passed, um, my aunt and uncle were able to get a recording of her telling a story from when before her kids were born, how she and my grandfather had met, how she ended up going like to this other space to, be with his part of the family. And I was like, oh my gosh. So what I've realized is that my grandfather, who a lot of people have um, in their ancestry as being deceased in 1930, he wasn't deceased.
Wasn't,
He was still
oh,
around by 1951. So it's like we need to share those stories. How else would they know? Because they're going by the paper and what it looks like this says, but we don't have those stories to pass on. So I'm like,
right.
no, we got to start writing about these things. And then the stories that they told us, oh my gosh,
Hmm. Yeah.
how will we ever know? How, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, I want to start sharing those stories too. So I'm probably going to put out 10 books a year until I die. Y'all
Hmm.
gonna be like, this girl is out of her
It's
mind.
volumes, volumes, volumes.
I'm not out of my
Yeah.
mind. I know exactly what I'm doing. And listen, while y'all playing, I have a book that we're going to at least do the pre-release party this month for, right? I have another book that I'm going to be featured in. That brings me to what, 5? And then I'm going to write a book while I'm helping you write a book, right?
We are filling your calendar because there's a party every week,
Every
apparently.
week.
We have a party, a
I'm having
pre-release
a party
party.
every week. And Friday, yes, because it is Poetry Month. It is National Poetry Month. We're doing a poetry jam listening party on Friday. Every Friday we're doing that. So that's automatic too. So April is my
Yeah.
celebration. Let's party month. Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Every week. So people should just connect, go to those links, click those links. That's the only way to know what's coming up.
I'll put the link here too. I'll put the link here too. Every time I'm talking about something writing, you'll find the link. It's in all of my bios. No matter where you go, it's there. You'll be able to find the link. If you find my face, you'll find the link. All right. And if that doesn't work, slaywithtrey.com. Sip and pen, get in. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Do it. Do
Stop
it.
waiting. Stop waiting.
Whatever it is.
Stop waiting.
Do it. Get your book
We're not
ready.
waiting.
Stop waiting. There's no more excuses. Your kids grown and gone. Almost. Half of them
Got
running the
time.
household and cooking and doing everything else too. So you have time. You have time.
Got time.
You have time. And this is 30 days, man. You could do anything for 30 days. Sign up for the sip and pen. Sign up for the party and the after party. And we'll see you there.
And do it all.
Thank you for joining us today. Woo, 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 woo. I'm so excited. I don't know where my hand clapper is, but I'm excited. Man. Join me. All right, y'all. I love you. We got to get back to work. We got some books to write.
Got books to write.
We talking